This is Margaret Ann Windsor. I think I've got this focused on here so that you can see the double up in the right left corner that was married Wallace Simpson. Was used to take out my father, and my father, here he is, King Edward VIII. Was married to my mom, George O'Keeffe, the artist's sister. Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, the baby in the family. Now then, here's the uncle, George, that's been made, none of the truth has been printed. I don't know how so many lies, and I'm proof of the pudding here if they ever get around to it. Here's Elizabeth, illegal monarch. She has sold out her country. She works for the United States. Here's her father, George VI, the illegal monarch, stole the crown from his brother, my father. Here he is with Roosevelt and family in 1939, the year I was born. And I want to say this. I was kidnapped in 1941. And I go back and I read what I know are lies, and you wonder what to believe anymore. I was trying to find out about my grandfather, George V, who died in 1936, and my father became king. And then my father was married, legally married, and this has all been covered up. My father was legally wed to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe Windsor, Irish-American Catholic, which I know some of the Windsors didn't like, and the New World Order were part of it. So part of this has been planned ahead by the New World Order, the Freemasons, which include Roosevelt, Joseph Kennedy. So they took down my father, and they framed him just like they did me here in this country. They kidnapped me in 1941 and brought me to Moulton, Alabama, gave me the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers, married to Childers. The twins, Carl and Peggy, were dead. They were born in 1938. I grew up using the birth date of January the 7th, 1939. So that posed a problem when later I found out my real name and who my father is and my kidnapping, because the twins had a different birth date. So when I got the birth certificates, the state of Alabama just simply took a pen and marked through it, which is illegally, and wrote January the 7th, the date given to me of 1939, above it. So all this has been illegal. It's been done to me. But hey, until you get an attorney and bring it before a court, nothing's going to happen except me go on telling this and praying one day it comes to an end and I see some justice. Now that I've used up a good bit of time, because I was looking back to see how my grandfather died, George V. This is my sons, Mark and Scott, and me, obviously a long time ago, the photos. This is Obama with Caroline Kennedy, daughter of JFK. Yesterday was the day he was, they said, assassinated. I wish you could walk in my shoes and see what they've done to me every day of my life, and what you call that but assassinating me and my sons and really my mom and dad, and assassinating the British. Anyway, here's they honored him all over yesterday. Here's the newspaper. The man has been given medals. I just researched that because I'll tell you why. I was going back, I've known for a long time that Joe Kennedy helped in my kidnapping. He was ambassador to Great Britain. 36 to 46 when the British kicked him out, quite frankly. Roosevelt had appointed him ambassador, Joe Kennedy, ambassador to England. And that's where they started the takedown of my father and install their own monarch, George VI. So they've got movies making George VI. They've got the Queen making Elizabeth sound like a nice person. The problem is they've left out any of the real truth about these people. I can't, it's hard for me to even wrap your mind around it, you know. This been all this years, and it's Elizabeth. None of these people have spoken the truth or tried to do anything about it. Instead, hey, look at her. I look back at Joe Kennedy, and he helped kidnap me in 41. I was born in 39. I started looking back. I didn't connect for some reason. John Kennedy, I knew that when in 63 when he was shot, I know where I was, and I look back now and I know very well what Joe and John Kennedy, the Kennedys, were continuing to do to me. They had a hostage Victoria II. That's who I am, the legal heir, not Elizabeth. So you work it and you torture me for all I'm worth to them. I was born, if that's a crime that I committed, and I'm Victoria II. And they've done all this to me, and he was honored and honored right here in Roanoke, Virginia, where they very well know about me. And, well, they did before I came here in October of 86. The media has, for a long time back, has known about my kidnapping and kept it quiet. The New World Order with the Rockefellers, Rothschilds helped in my kidnapping, and they control the media. And Elizabeth and Charles have been filmed on many occasions with the meetings with the Bilderbergers and Rothschilds, the New World Order, and Obama has even made a tape. A video where he said that the New World Order is in place. So I looked back, I went to Wikipedia and went to Google and all that, and I looked back, well, it was on TV too, just a few days ago, where John Kennedy flew in and out of Europe, the United Kingdom. He went with his father. When his father would go over, his father was ambassador and friends of Roosevelt. So he went over, and Joe Kennedy, his brother, and in November, I believe, I had this written down yesterday, but I can't find it today, November of 39. Now, that's the year I was born, and that's the year that my uncle, who sold out his brother and country and kidnapped me, met with Roosevelt. And now this was in USA and World Report, April the 28th of 97. And here it says that it's in 1939, if you can read it. So the timeline's tied together too. So this is in 39 that George VI, the illegal George VI, they intended my kidnapping. I was born then. And that same in November is when John Kennedy made a speech before the House of Commons. And I wish I had the dates because 41, I hope I haven't switched it, the dates of the speech before the House of Commons by the Kennedys. I was kidnapped in 41, and that's when the speech probably was made because they were congratulating the UK because supposedly war had been declared on Germany. Germany had supposedly invaded Poland. You know, I wonder if the truth will ever be told, the real truth about this. Um, Elizabeth and her father, George, well, Elizabeth didn't have until later. She was crowned illegal monarch, but illegal she may be, she's there. But George signed treaties allowing the United States military all over British soil. So that was a launching pad to take over the British Empire and everything within sight, and they've done it because they really control everything now, as it stands. So I'm trying to get back to, well, the whole thing is the Kennedys, when they're telling all this about Dealey Plaza and all this, they leave out the horrific crimes they've done to me personally and to my two sons, Mark and Scott, who are heirs. Um, that they can't tell because it's so ugly. They have framed my father. They framed me here. And if the truth's ever told what they did to my babies, and I don't even know where they are, I haven't for a long time, nobody will touch it. This has gone on in plain sight with the Americans knowing it. So they give this man medals. They just leave out the truth, and the truth is me and my father, and the fact, just look at Great Britain, the colonies. Where have all the colonies gone? Well, they've gone to the United States, of course, because they installed their own monarch. They just leave all that out. I am going to show this. It's Larry Flint, Hustler, 1984, April, because, quite frankly, people, it gets their attention. Where my telling you about mind control and my writing about that doesn't mean squat. Until, like, one FBI agent told me in Atlanta in 82, they're bored, and he faked yawning. He said, when you try telling all this, they just get bored. It won't matter to them until they find out how it affects them. So I'm just going to show this endorsement in Flint, the Hustler. Well, I didn't mean Flint the Hustler. I meant to show the picture of Flint and Hustler. Quite frankly, Larry Flint is so far cut above any of these people, and I shouldn't even have to say that. I do want to get this in before, because the tape's going to run out. I wrote about mind control murders in 77, 78 while I lived at Moonwreck Apartments in Marietta, Georgia. That's when Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville on March the 6th of 78. Well, now I'm going to lose it here. I was going to tell about what? Help. I was talking about the medals, and, well, I wanted to talk about and I'm trying to hurry and get this in. I want to go back to the mind control murders, and I'm just going to swiftly show you. These are the ones that were done in Virginia Tech now. This fits into the patterns. The homes of the Aurora, Colorado, and Fort Hood. He's a psychiatrist that was born here in Roanoke and finished at Virginia Tech, and then went on to become a psychiatrist. And by the way, that's where the Virginia Tech shootings took place, April the 16th of '07, when the state of Virginia paid her to come to Virginia, and she was here when I'm living up on the Appalachian Trail, starving and after a winter of freezing, laughing. It's so disgusting. What do you do with it? I want to go back to the mind control real quick because I'm going to have to stop. It's going to not upload. King Ferdinand, the person was programmed to shoot him. Yorkshire Ripper. Stop and think about that one. That was mind control. And, I want to say this. Anastasia, and it was Anna, was murdered on May the 4th of '84. And I end up here 60 miles or 50 from her, where they killed her in Charlottesville. University of Charlottesville was where, University of Virginia is where her husband was a professor. Blue Ridge mental health killed her, so they've used the mental health in all this. George the Fifth, my grandfather, was a cousin to Tsar Nicholas. So that made Anna akin to me, and they've done a lot of, and I'm going to have to quit it, it's not going to go up.